back to my YouTube channel. We will be looking at 5 things to know about changing subject of formula. First, meaning of formula and changing subject of formula. A formula is an equation. It is not an expression. A formula tells us the relationship between two or more variables and even quantities. This is an example of a formula. It has variable at the left-hand side and variable at the right-hand side, and bounded by the equal to sign. An expression does not have the equal to sign. This is an example of it. X squared minus 14x plus k. When we talk about changing a subject of formula, it means we want to rearrange the equation. We want to make a letter to stand alone. Let's look at this equation. Area of a triangle equal to half base times height. A is the subject of the formula. We can make B or H to be in the position of A. The process is called changing the subject of formula. And we can also look at this example. Cooked rice equal to hot water plus raw rice plus ingredients. This is an example of equation. We can decide to make hot water the subject of the formula, or even raw rice, or even ingredients. The process of doing this is also called changing subject of formula. The second thing to know about changing subject of formula is performing the same operation on both sides. Here we have 2 examples. Let me zoom into the first one. This is an equation and is the formula for the volume of a cuboid. Let's make L the subject of the formula. Under performing the same operation on both sides, it means whatever we do to the left-hand side, we must also do so to the right-hand side. In order to make our L to stand alone, we have to divide by B times H. So we are dividing on both sides. B will cancel B and H will cancel H. Then we have this. This is our answer, but we want to make L to begin the formula. Then we have this as our final answer. Here we have the formula of a simple interest, which is principal rate times time over 100, and we want to make T the subject of the formula. There are different ways we can solve this. We can decide to cross multiply, but in order to stand to the cost of this section, we will multiply by 100. 100 will cancel 100. Then we have this. We still want T to be the subject of the formula, and is being hindered by P and R. So we are going to divide both sides by P and R. P will cancel P and R will cancel R. Then we have this equation. We flip it to the other side because we want T to begin the formula. The third thing we need to know is reversing the operation carefully. The inverse operation of addition is subtraction, multiplication is division, square is square root, and cube is cube root. In this example, let's make x the subject of the formula. Since we have cube root here, we have to introduce cube and it should be to both sides. Cube root will cancel cube, then we have this. We want x to be the subject and is being hindered by over k. Let's introduce times k and it should be to both sides. K will cancel k, then we have this as our final answer. Over here, we want to make h the subject of the formula and is being hindered by this sign. We have to square both sides. Square will cancel square root, then we have this. In order to make h to stand alone, we have to divide both sides by 2g. 2 will cancel 2 and g will cancel g. Then we have this. Then we flip it to the other side, and that's our final answer. The fourth thing to know about changing subject of formula is removing brackets carefully. We will be considering two formulas in this section. Let's move to the first one. We want to make t the subject of the formula. The first thing we have to do here is to eliminate this 1 over 2. By doing that, we have to introduce times 2 to both sides. 2 will cancel 2. Then we have this. Looking at what we have here, plus 5 have to move to the other side just to make 2t to stand alone. And when it moves, the sign changes to minus 5. Then we could say our 2t. We are looking for t and not 2t. So we have to divide both sides by 2. 2 will cancel 2. Then we have this as our answer. Then we flip it, and this is our final answer. The example here, we want to make a the subject of the formula. The first thing to do is to do away with this square by introducing square root to both sides. Square root will cancel square. Then we have this. We have to do away with this over 2 by introducing times 2 to both sides. 2 will cancel 2. Then we have this. In order to let 3a to stand alone, move minus 3b to the other side. Then we have this. To let a stand alone, divide both sides by 3. 3 will cancel 3. Then we have this. Flip it to the other side. Then we have this as our final answer. The last and the final thing to know about changing subject of formula is how to handle fraction properly. We have two examples here. Let's look at these. Let's make C the subject of the formula. The previous examples we've been treating, the expression here has always been up, so we'll just multiply by a number or letter just to eliminate what is down. But now, our subject of formula is down here, so we have to cross multiply just to eliminate this 1 over. Doing this, we have 2 pi f square root of LC equal to 1. In order to make C to stand alone, we have to eliminate this by introducing 2 pi f to both sides. 2 will cancel 2, pi will cancel pi, and f will cancel f. Then we have this. In order to eliminate this square root, we have to introduce square to both sides. Square will cancel square root. Then we have LC equal to the expression here. We have to solve it. 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, and pi square retains itself, and f square retains itself. In order to make C to stand alone, we have to divide both sides by L. L will cancel L, and this division sign will change to multiplication. L over 1 will become 1 over L, and we have this as our final answer. Second example, we want to make M the subject of the formula. Looking at this example, M repeated itself twice, which is quite different from all we've been treating before, and that tells us that we might factorize. So we have to eliminate this square root by introducing square. Square will cancel square root. Then we have this. The next thing to do is just to remove this over m by introducing times m, and it should be to both sides. M will cancel m. Then we have mv squared equal to, we have to expand this. 2 times e is 2e, and 2 times minus mgh is minus 2 mgh. Minus 2 mgh will move to the other side. Then we have mv squared plus 2 mgh equal to 2e. We want m to be the subject of the formula. So we have to factorize this expression. Let's quickly do it here. m in mv square is v square, and m in 2mgh is 2gh. So we have m open and close bracket v square plus 2gh. And let's put it here. The next thing to do is to do away with this expression by dividing it on both sides. V square plus 2gh will cancel v square plus 2gh. Then we have this as our final answer. If there is any question, you can please use the comment section. Thank you and see you next time.